What's up, world? I am back with another Money Moves episode. So let's go ahead and see where the millions and billions of dollars and euros are flowing in the world of technology. Nuclear startup Terrestrial Energy goes public via SPAC, netting $280 million in merger. Terrestrial Energy, a small nuclear startup, merged with an acquisition company last week. The North Carolina-based company is developing small modular reactors and expects to net $280 million from the deal. The combined entity expects to list on Nasdaq under the symbol IMSR. The ticker is in reference to Terrestrial Energy's flavor of small modular reactor, SMR, which it calls an integral molten salt reactor. Terrestrial Energy's reactor core is designed to be entirely replaced every 7 years, in part to head off some of the problems earlier molten salt reactors experienced, like corrosion. The reactor core includes not only fuel and graphite modulators that regulate the speed of the fission reactions, but also the heat exchangers and pumps that keep the salt cool and flowing. The startup is targeting a range of markets, including electric power, data centers, and industrial applications that require heat. Nuclear power has received renewed attention as electrification of buildings and transportation, coupled with the rapid growth of data centers, has sent electricity demand soaring. Fintech Mercury lands $300 million in Sequoia-led Series C and doubles their valuation to $3.5 billion. Digital banking startup Mercury has raised $300 million in primary and secondary funding at a $3.5 billion post-money valuation. Sequoia led the latest round alongside existing backers Coatue, CRV, Andreessen Horowitz, and new investors Spark Capital and Marathon. The raise brings Mercury's total primary and secondary funding to $500 million. The company declined to break down how much of the Series C was primary and how much was secondary, with Mercury CEO and co-founder Ahmad Akhan saying the majority was primary. The company counts over 200,000 companies as customers and claims it has seen 40% year-over-year customer growth. Akhan declined to share revenue figures from previous years, but noted that its payment volume increased by 64% to $156 billion. Its customers range in size, according to Akhan, and include tech companies such as Linear, Phantom, and 11 Labs, venture capital firms, e-commerce companies, and a range of small businesses. Mercury will be eyeing acquisitions with its new capital, and it will also be hiring Napster to become a music marketing metaverse firm after being sold for $207 million. Infinite Reality, a media, e-commerce, and marketing company focused on 3D and AI-powered experiences, has entered an agreement to acquire Napster. That means the brand, originally launched in 1999 as a peer-to-peer music file sharing service, is set to be reborn again. This time, new owners are reshaping the brand into one focused on marketing musicians in the metaverse. The Norwalk, Connecticut-based company plans to turn Napster into a social music platform that prioritizes active fan engagement over passive listening, allowing artists to connect with, own, and monetize their relationship with their fans. To market musicians, the company shared goals of using Napster to offer branded 3D virtual spaces where fans can enjoy virtual concerts, social listening parties, and other immersive community-based experiences, and more gamification. Infinite also wants musicians to use Napster as a platform where fans can purchase tickets for performances, physical and virtual merchandise, and exclusive digital content. The 6-year-old firm also plans to offer artists abilities to use AI-powered customer service, sales, and community management agents, and enhance analytics dashboards to better understand fan behavior. Infinite didn't disclose any plans to change the streaming service as it functions now, but Infinite's focus will be on creating new ways to monetize the service with emerging technologies. And more Money Moves news, Blue Halo wins $30 million follow-on contract with the U.S. Navy. Blue Halo recently announced that it has won a contract worth $30 million to provide engineering and support services for its Maritime Expeditionary Standoff Response, or MESR, systems. The Naval Information Warfare Center, NIWC, Pacific issued the 5-year contract, which supports the U.S. Navy's ongoing operations using the Mission Specialist Defender Remotely Operated Vehicle, ROV. The award follows the Navy's $92.6 million MESR contract awarded to VideoRay in May of 2024. The company said it reinforces its role role in supporting the U.S. Navy with advanced underwater robotic technology for expeditionary missions, mine countermeasures, and underwater security. Blue Halo bought VideoRay in November. Blue Halo said its Mission Specialist Defender provides high maneuverability, payload integration, and operational flexibility. These capabilities enable the ROV to complete missions in high-risk maritime environments. Some of the maritime system's features include topside control and a powerful and compact console, a modular design so users can create a custom system for their application, depth rating available up to 1,000 meters, and 7 thrusters for greater control and positioning. Blue Halo recently announced a memorandum of understanding to integrate its next-generation autonomous systems, layered air defense solutions, hypersonic telemetry, and airspace command and control technologies into Grand Sky's facilities and airspace infrastructure systems. Zenobi completes £220 million raise for Scottish Best Project. After the £220 million financing raise to fund its 400 by 800 megawatt battery energy storage project in Exclaes, Zenobi investment in Scotland reaches the £750 million mark, one of the largest BESS investments in all of Europe so far. The funding for the 400 by 800 megawatt site was provided by a group of lenders organized by National Westminster Bank and KKR Capital Markets Partners LLP. The Exclaes BESS project is the final part of the development firm's £750 million total investment in Scotland. Other Scottish Zenobi projects include Blackhillock BESS, a 200 megawatt, 400 megawatt project located near Inverness that recently began commercial operations and is set to expand to 300 megawatt by 600 megawatts later this year. The Blackhillock site is currently the largest operational BESS project in Europe and also the first transmission connected battery system in the world to deliver stability services to the National Energy System Operator, and was also the first project delivered under the Network Options Assessment Stability Pathfinder program. Brisk raises $15 million after a quick start in school. The AI edtech startup called Brisk has built a tool that could at least help teachers identify some of the telltale signs of when a student's writing has been composed using ChatGPT or another generative AI tool. Recently, they announced the $15 million in new funding on the back of decent traction. Alongside a writing inspector, Brisk platform offers around 40 tools for teachers and students to use by way of a Chrome extension. The platform uses generative AI, computer vision, and other AI features that Brisk says can help not only speed up work, but also do the work better. These include writing lesson plans, tests, and presentations, adjusting work for different abilities, grading work, and more. The funding will be used in part to build more tools and in part to expand more platforms. Brisk says more than 2,000 schools in 100 countries use its products today, and more than 90% of its business comes from inbound interest. 1 in 5 K-12 teachers in the U.S. have installed the Brisk extension as of February 2025. Bessemer Venture Partners is leading the Series A round, with previous backers Al Ventures, South Park Commons, and Springbank Collective also participating. The company's student writing inspector does not include "This was written by ChatGPT." It starts with a video of a student's work process on screen, which it then watches in fast motion, flagging when that student has copy or pasted information or is otherwise doing other things that are uncharacteristic of how they work. This is then sent on to the teacher, who can assess whether it could be an indication of copying from somewhere else or if the work was indeed created by Gen AI. Looking forward, Brisk will be building more immersive tools beyond its extensions. Later this year, it will be switching on a new web platform so that educators can work cohesively and natively within the Brisk environment. It will include new resources and activities. In our next Money Moves news, we have Contoro picks up $12 million to scale container unloading robots. Contoro Robotics recently raised $12 million in a Series A funding to scale its artificial intelligence-powered robots. The company said it has developed customer-specific AI models, innovative grasping techniques, and HITL oversight. Contoro initially trained its robots with teleoperation, but its AI can now learn on its own with human intervention only for exception handling. One person can oversee more than 10 robots, Yoon said. According to Yoon, our robot can unload download 97% to 98% in the first week because box designs change, challenging the AI. With a human in the loop, it can then handle 99.5% after a week. We have multiple layers that make human intervention easy as needed with AI, remote support, then customer intervention. In addition, Contoro created Dual Grasp, a proprietary two-point gripping system to securely handle a wider range of box sizes and weights than competing end effectors. Contoro claimed that its technology enabled highly reliable unloading even in unpredictable freight logistic environments that are typically challenging for robots. Its system can pick more than 300 to 350 cases per hour. New investors Doosan, Coupang, the Amazon Industrial Innovation Fund, and IMM participated in Contoro's Robotics Series A round. They joined existing backers SV Investment, KB Investment, Cacao Ventures, and Future Play, bringing Contoro's total funding to $22 million. Contoro Robotics said that early deployments have already doubled unloading speed, reduced dependency on manual labor, and saved hundreds of labor hours per month for customers facing rising costs and operational bottlenecks. Island lands $250 million in funding at a $4.8 billion valuation. Enterprise browser startup Island raised a sizable funding round, one that bumps up its valuation significantly in less than 1 year after its latest fundraise. Dallas-based Island raised $250 million in a Series Z round led by Co2 that valued the company at $4.85 billion. This brings the company's total funding to $730 million. Other backers in the round include Insight Partners, Sequoia, and Canopy Ventures, among others. Island builds online browsers that are designed for enterprises and are meant to be more secure than traditional commercial search engines. They also have universal application access control, device visibility and management, and application automation, among other features. Enterprises are clearly buying into the mission too, as the company now counts 450 customers, among them Mattress Firm, Swiss Life, and Fiverr. Hyundai is investing $21 billion to expand in the U.S. and drive innovation. Hyundai plans to invest $21 billion over the next 3 years to expand its U.S. presence, from expanding its manufacturing capabilities to advancing future technology and enhancing energy infrastructure. Hyundai plans to invest $9 billion to expand its vehicle production to 1.2 million each year, $6 billion to enhance its parts, logistics, and steel business, and $6 billion to grow future industries and enhance external partnerships and energy infrastructure, including EV charging. Its vehicle production investment will help increase production of its Hyundai Motor, Kia, and Genesis vehicle brands. It also includes improvements to production facilities, including those at Hyundai Motor Manufacturing in Alabama and Georgia's Kia Auto Land. Hyundai is allocating one of the $6 billion investments to drive innovation and expand partnerships in autonomous driving, robotics, artificial intelligence, and advanced air mobility companies. This includes working with Boston Dynamics to expand the robotics components ecosystem and establish a mass production system, partnering with NVIDIA to accelerate AI technology development for future mobility, including autonomous driving and robotics, advanced research and development with Supernal to commercialize eVTOL vehicles by 2028, supplying robotaxis to Waymo, and co-developing autonomous driving services with Aptiv, and investing in startups specializing in mobility, robotics, and AI. Moving right along to more Money Moves news. Fair Code pioneer Inaden raises $60 million for AI-powered workflow automation. Developer tooling is changing rapidly with AI, so companies that are making it easier to adopt AI in their workflows are seeing a boom of attention. After a startup called Inaden pivoted its workflow automation platform to become more AI-friendly in 2022, it has saw its revenues increase 5x, doubling in the last 2 months alone. Berlin-based Inaden said it now has more than 3,000 enterprise customers and around 200,000 active users on its books. The startup will be using this Series B to continue investing in tech and to expand in newer markets like the US, home to more than half of Inaden's user base. The company does not disclose revenues, and that customer number includes both free and paying users, as well as those taking short-term and longer-term subscriptions. Highland Europe is leading this latest round, with HV Capital and previous backers Sequoia, Felis, and Harpoon also participating. The product was built with a blend of LLMs in mind, and the idea is that if end users are already building services services using one LLM or another, it can be swapped in to work with N8n's platform. And like a number of other developer-focused platforms, N8n has a fairly extensive contributor community that is active on platforms like GitHub, gets involved in forums to help other developers with their questions, and builds and uses workflow templates built by others. YC alum Mendel, a ramp for Latin America enterprises, raises $35 million in a Series B. Mexico City-based Mendel has raised $35 million in a Series B round of funding. With this latest capital infusion, the startup has brought in a total of $60 million in equity funding and $50 million via a credit facility. Mendel's mission is straightforward: to reinvent corporate spend management by automating most of the operations for an enterprise CFO that are currently done manually. Or put even more simply, it wants to be a one-stop shop for all B2B spend. Its offering integrates expense management, payments, and corporate travel. Mendel declined to reveal their valuation, with Karpowski saying only the round reflected a significant step up from the company's previous raise. The company also declined to reveal hard revenue figures, with Karpowski noting only that its annual recurring revenue grew almost 2.5x year over year, with gross margins over 75%. Base 10 Partners led Mendel's latest round, which included participation from new investors, PayPal Ventures and Endeavor Catalyst, as well as existing backers Infinity Ventures, Industry Ventures, and HI.VC. Karpowski believes that the company's Latin America focus gives it an advantage over other global players in that it's able to address complex country-specific regulations such as tax codes, invoicing requirements, and multi-currency workflows, among others.